Hi. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. We are here. We are here in the SEC Country studios. Nothing wrong in the SEC Country studios. No, sir. Everything's fine. Everything is fine here at the SEC Country studios here in Atlanta, Georgia. Going to be a short show today. Going to be a short show. Got some things going on. But we'll have fun. We're going to talk about Mississippi State baseball, kind of bouncing back over the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, I guess, or last week or two. And last night they opened it. If you build it, they will come, and they did. And I'm not talking about Andy Cannizaro. I'm talking about fans that came to see Mississippi State baseball play. Sometimes I entertain myself. What's wrong with my computer out here, guys? Why can't I get the video up? Good stuff. Good podcast right here. Entertaining. There we go. There are my friends. Hello, David Scott Cook from Bulverde, Texas. Never seen that one. You always say it's a short show. Sorry. Today, I mean it. It's actually going to be a short show. Although we do have Joel Coleman on here, and we know how he likes to talk. So we'll do our best. Well, hello, Bonnie Williamson-Gable. Hello, Trey Adcock. Everybody showing up. Everybody getting here on a Wednesday morning. It is Wednesday morning, right? Have I got that right? Yeah. A lot of things going on. A lot of things. Flora, Mississippi checking in, home of Cameron Burns. Hello from Greenwood. Jason Neal Galt says he just laughs. He just laughs. That's what he does. As the owner of two Popeyes, I have to question your judgment. KFC is better. Geez Louise, says Scott Murphy Vaughn. I swear, I could sit here and full Colonel Reb regalia and do the hotty toddy chant and pay recruits, and you guys wouldn't get as mad as you got over me saying KFC chicken is better than Popeyes. Maybe I just have a bad Popeyes in Point City. Maybe that's the case. I would love to come to your Popeyes. Person who just talked to me like that. Person who just said they own two Popeyes. I would love to come to your Popeyes and eat free chicken. I have no shame. None whatsoever. Hello from Shreveport. Hello from Saltillo. Adrian Page is in Shreveport. Mac McBrayer in Saltillo. Jay Hammer says he wasn't here for most of the show yesterday, but Arkansas is the worst. Well, besides Ole Miss, I've lived here for years, and they are the worst. I don't dispute. You know, I guess this list, that ladder of hatred, would be colored by where you live. If you live in Alabama, you probably hate Alabama and Auburn the most. If you live in East Tennessee, you probably hate Tennessee the most. If you live in Arkansas, I can understand. Come to mine, and I'll provide free chicken for you. Scott Murphy Vaughn, we got to find out where those Popeyes are, because he doesn't know me. All right? I will go to considerable expense, pay a bunch of gas money just to get to free chicken. Or free food. Doesn't even have to be free chicken. Is this a new time from now on, says Sean Barker? This has been the time for months. This has been the time since we started. So this is not the new time. This is when we've been doing it. Kenny Manning says Popeyes is greater than KFC, and it's not even close. All right. Do we have to do that today? Can we all just agree to be happy? Let's be honest. Fried chicken's fried chicken, and fried chicken is delicious. If the worst you had to do was KFC chicken, you'd still be pretty good. Look forward to seeing the dogs in action in my backyard tomorrow night. Why are they playing in your backyard? I thought there was like a stadium up there or an arena up there they could play in. See what I did there? I did it again. I don't know. Gus's is the best chicken. Church's is the best chicken. All right. Here we go. We're off the rails. We're talking about food already. We haven't even done the show yet. And we're off the rails talking about chicken. I've been thinking about Popeyes for lunch, and you just confirmed the decision, says Ryan Campbell. I'm glad I could help you. If I don't do anything else on a daily basis, I want to inspire you on what to eat for lunch, because I'm starving when I sit up here. We do this show from 11:45 to 12:30, 1 o'clock Eastern, and we get hungry. And the Shrekking crew gets hungry, and they immediately, Landshark goes and takes her 3.5 hour lunch. Terp goes and takes his 5-minute lunch, and then they come back and go to work. Isn't that about right? Yeah. George's in New Albany is the best chicken. I've never been to George's in New Albany. Haven't spent a lot of time in New Albany. Just when I was going to Memphis, maybe stop there and eat at McAllister's or Wendy's or something. Kevin Wright checking in from Geraldine, Alabama. Ryan Campbell is hashtag inspired. I'm a hashtag inspiration. That's what I am. That's who I am. We're going to talk about baseball. Boy, you can't win for trying, Brandon. 80s movies, chicken, and men's and women's basketball. Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. I'm a martyr. People love me, though. People love me. Did you see the updated bracketology for women this morning? No, Ryan McMichael, I did not see it. What is it? What did they drop us on the bracketology to third or fourth? Did they keep us at number 2? Please let me know. What did they do? George's has the best chicken livers ever. I can be honest and tell you that I have no opinion on who has the best chicken livers, for I have never eaten them. What's the difference in chicken livers and chicken gizzards? Are they different? I've had gizzards. You don't know. You're from Georgia. I'm talking Mississippi right now. After working in a chicken house as a child, chicken is not very high on the menu choices, says Steve C. Did Landshark steal my shirt? No, Bonnie, I just haven't had time to send it out yet. It's coming. New Albany McAllister's is the worst one. Got sick 2 out of 2 times eating there. Okay. I'm glad we have covered the important bases here on this show this morning. I'm glad we have covered the important stuff. Thank goodness. Because we were thinking about not doing a show today because, got some building problems here, got some issues. But I said, no, for my state fans, we're going to do a show. It's very important. And here we are talking about chicken gizzards and God knows what else. Thank God we showed up. You guys ready? Not going to shut that door? No. You guys look miserable right now. Are you miserable? Or are you miserable? Oh, it's nice. I might drag this thing out just to be a jerk. All right, you ready? Hit it.
The More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, More Cowbell with Brandon Walker on SEC Country. That is very loud. That is almost disturbingly loud. But it is a great sound. Mississippi State Cowbells in the morning. Get you ready for more Cowbell and Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Here we are in a warm SEC Country studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Doing great. Got the Shrekking crew on the other side of the glass. Terp getting our phone guest on the phone as we speak. Landshark doing nothing of note, but that's pretty much what she does. Now, on today's show, baseball. Did you like that stadium? Did you see that stadium? Did you see it? Finally unveiled, the new Duty Noble has a game in it last night. Mississippi State wins, 38-1, 4-1, something. They won over New Mexico State, won quite easily. The baseball team quietly kind of turned it around. They're up to 7-5 after starting 0-3. Pretty good. Now, I don't know if this year is going to have anything great for Mississippi State, but progress is progress, and that stadium's what we're going to talk about. We're going to have Joel T. Coleman of the Starkville Daily News on the show to talk about that stadium, to talk about this team. Then we're going to talk about Mississippi State men's basketball in the SEC tournament, and that's pretty much going to be it. Not going to be a 2-minute drill today. Going to be a short show as we got to get out of here. Are they demolishing the building? They are. Okay, good. So we'll probably be here on a trash heap tomorrow. But until then, we're going to talk about baseball. And boy, I wasn't there. I'm in Atlanta. I did not see that stadium. I did not sit in that stadium. I did not experience that game. But I know somebody who did. His name is Joel T. Coleman of the Starkville Daily News. I think he is as good as it gets when it comes to covering baseball inside the state of Mississippi, and he is on the show now. Joel, thank you for joining the show.
Hey, Hey, Brandon, I appreciate you having me on and not banning me for life after last time.
Well, no, I considered it, but I needed somebody for baseball, and Brian Haydad said no, so I had to call you. Now, Joel T. Coleman is on the show. He is the baseball expert. You can hear him every Friday. That's correct, every Friday, right, Joel?
That's correct.
You can hear him every Friday on Knock It Out Joel on Bulldog Sports Radio, where he pretty much talks Bulldog baseball and whatever else comes to his mind. Now, Joel, yesterday, Mississippi State opens the new Dudu Noble Field. Go ahead. I'll turn the floor over to you. What were your first impressions?
It was, I think I probably said this on Twitter, but it was big league. I mean, you walk in that park, and it really is jaw-dropping. And if you walk in that, especially that right field entrance plaza right now, you kind of, you get a feel as though you're not even in Starkville, kind of. You feel like you're walking into one of the either best, minor league parks or big league parks in the country. There are big league parks that are not that nice, I promise you. And the thing isn't even done yet. I mean, you walk around and there's still, fencing up. There's parts of the concourse that you can't go all the way back because they're still undergoing construction and whatnot. But that doesn't matter. I mean, you look out, you can walk 360 degrees around the place. I mean, if you want to, the left field lounge, for instance, it used to be a place that for a lot of people, unless you knew somebody, basically you sat in the grandstand and looked out there at it and thought, oh, that looks fun. Well, now, just go out there yourself. I mean, you can walk the whole way around the park, see the field the entire time. I mean, it really is amazing, and I'm not going to do a great job at describing it, but I can assure you that if you win and I know you will at some point, venture over to Starkville and you'll walk through those gates yourself, all the hype that Mississippi State's put into this place, they didn't lie. I mean, it's fantastic. Maybe the only thing that I heard negative all night, and it wasn't even a negative, it was just a common theme, was I talked to a few lounge folks that were basically saying, oh, it's not bad, it's just different kind of deal.
Right.
And the thing with that is, I understand that or whatever, but to me, if you're somebody, and I don't think that, if there was anybody out there that was not pleased, I didn't talk to them. But at this point, if you're one of those people that just can't get over the left field lounge isn't what it was, I mean, you basically become the old geezer, the old get off my lawn guy. It may be time for you to phase out of Bulldog baseball, because everybody else that I talked to really seemed to think that this thing couldn't have gone any better. And, I know the lounge is different. People don't back their trucks up that next to the fence anymore. It changed and evolved from there, and evolved from what it was last year, what it is now. It's going to keep evolving, but, I mean, judging, by opening night, the thing's going to evolve and just keep being better and better and better and become awesome as it's always been. And I don't know, Brandon, that place, it's something else, man. That's about all I can say about it.
It looked really good, and I got to say the pictures from the lounge look great. It's opened up. I know it's different, and if I had spent that money to be in the lounge for years, I'd probably be. It's an adjustment period, but it looks great for everybody. It's all inclusive now, which I think is great. I got one complaint. Can I complain? Do you mind if I complain?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
your show.
It's my show, so you can't really say anything, can you? Anyway, I don't like the fake dirt behind the home plate. I don't like it, okay? We have the best turf management program in the country, and we got this beautiful grass, and we got all this, and then behind the plate and around the plate, we got fake dirt. I don't want fake dirt. We got the best real stadium in the country. Why do we have fake dirt?
I completely agree with you. The basis behind that, we were talking about this in the press box last night. The press box, that may be a kind way of...
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm going to get to that.
But anyway... we were talking about that last night, and I guess the genesis of it. Now, I don't understand why it's still there. I mean, we're building this stadium, for God's sake. We could change it if we wanted to. But the basis of the whole deal, I was talking with Logan Lowry, who obviously has been around the beat a little longer than I was, and he said that when Cohen was coaching, he wanted the exact same surface on the field as State had in the Palmero Center, where they, took BP and things indoors and stuff. That way, wherever they hit, they would have the same footing, everything would be familiar to them wherever they hit. And not only that, it would be not so familiar to opponents. So it was kind of a little bit of a competitive advantage thing, he thought, kind of deal, which I guess I understand where he's coming from. I see where that kind of makes sense. But I'm with you. I don't think I'm I'm not a fan of it myself. I mean, I guess I do see where that makes sense. Andy Cannizaro, when he was here, he talked to Brian and those guys on their show, and he did kind of seem to indicate when they talked about it that he wasn't the biggest fan of that. Now, that doesn't really make a darn now.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't matter what Andy Cannizaro thinks.
Andy Cannizaro said and did a lot of things that we're not going to talk about on this show. So, you know what? Let me keep going. And I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, that's fine.
Yeah, I cut you off. But so let me ask you a question. And that complaint is minor. All right, it's minor. This is the nicest non-Major League Baseball stadium in the country, in my opinion. It is a sparkling jewel, and it's just half open right now. I mean, imagine what it would have looked like if you had the upper deck full of people last night, and what it's going to look like in SEC games next year in 2019. It's going to be incredible. It is a 10 out of 10 every single time. But it is very, very entertaining to me, Joel, because knowing you sports writers like I do, and boy, I know you guys like to complain. Maybe not you personally, but we sports writers love to complain about free stuff. And the fact that they put you guys in what looks like a horse trailer down the third base line is very, very entertaining to me.
and I'm actually, I come in at 5'8", and that's probably a media guy at 5'8", probably more like 5'7 1/4 or something like that. And so I need a booster seat a little bit in that thing too. I mean, it's just. The chair doesn't quite get up to the window, it doesn't seem like to me. So not the most ideal media setup, but there again, here I am, Red, and you're right. I'm not the biggest complainer in the world. I'm a sunny side up kind of dude, so I can handle that for a year for what we're going to get with a finished product. But yeah, it's a pretty unusual setup.
Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. How much complaining was there in that press box? Tell me the truth.
A lot less than I thought there would be.
Okay.
Really. Probably maybe the only big real complaint, and I guess because we kind of knew what the situation was going to be for, the last several weeks, we kind of understood it wasn't going to be the best setup in the world, so we had time to prepare ourselves a little bit. Probably the biggest thing to complain about from a press corps perspective was we didn't get any free food last night. You don't give media members free food.
Oh, you poor things.
People.
You poor things. I'm sorry. I would have been complaining too, but I'm not there, so I get to laugh at it. So anyway, all right. Let's move on. The stadium's beautiful. Everything's nice. Everything's perfect. Everything is in place for Mississippi State baseball to stay at the elite level in college baseball, except for the coach of the future. We don't really know who that's going to be. We don't know who's going to be that guy. Kendall Rogers yesterday tweeted out that John Cohen has the attention of some elite coaches around the country. What do you think of that?
I think that doesn't surprise me in the least, especially, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I know people, some of the people he's probably talking to have been around a lot of baseball, seen a lot of baseball, but nobody that he ever brings in here for interviews ever seen a college baseball stadium like that. They're going to get to coach you. And when you add that on top of the fact that, Mississippi State's the top 10, probably at worst top 15 job in the country, and it may be the very best opening period that's going to be out there this offseason. I mean, he can get pretty much who he wants, I think. So it doesn't shock me at all. And truthfully, though, what you kind of have to look out for is don't look now that Gary Henderson's won 4 or 5 in a row. If he turns this sucker around and gets this team into a regional or super regional, or long way to go, host a regional or something like that, I mean, it's going to be tough to look at Gary Henderson and just pat him on the butt and send him out the door. So I don't think that it's just lip service. Whenever John Cohen told me and Will Salmon, maybe another guy or two last week, that Gary Henderson is a real candidate here. I mean, I don't think he's the favorite, but you kind of have to keep him up there too. But no, it doesn't shock me at all because there's a lot of people who want to come coach here and be in that ballpark and everything that this program has going for it.
How big of an asset is this stadium when it comes to finding a new coach? Because I mean, State has a lot of other advantages here. They got a good young roster, good players, a good recruiting base. They got a good name. They got John Cohen as the athletic director. But now when you're up against competitors, like you just said it, there's not a lot of competitors that are going to put something out there publicly like this stadium, are there? No,
and at the end of the day, I mean, money talks, and that's what, in which, I mean, Mississippi State can pay their baseball coach, whatever they want to, pretty much. So, I mean, money's not really a factor. All things being equal, I mean, you start to look at what you have, program-wise, facility-wise. I mean, I know that there are probably, better baseball jobs in Mississippi State. I mean, LSU comes to mind. You go through a list of several schools, you can say, yeah, that's a better job than Mississippi State. But, I mean, the difference between them and the very best job in the country, whether that's an LSU or whoever, it's not that significant at all. I mean, and now when you add in the fact that you have a friggin' big league ballpark sitting in Starkville, I know brick and mortar doesn't win over everybody, but goodness gracious, it's sure going to help your cause whenever somebody walks in there. Because that place is it's kind of, like I told you, it'll make your jaw drop when you walk in the gate. I can't imagine that there's not a coach in the country that wouldn't walk in that place and think, goodness gracious alive, I want to coach here.
No, I certainly hear you on that. All right, I got a couple more questions before I let you out the door. Going through, I'm not going to ask that. I got two more questions, both fried chicken related, okay? Popeyes or KFC?
Okay.
Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Chicken livers or chicken gizzards?
Neither. Good God, man.
I know, right? I was talking on my Facebook Live before the show, and they were talking about which place in Mississippi has the best chicken livers, and they asked me, and I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. Where do you eat chicken livers at? But you know what? I have had chicken gizzards, and they're awful. But I've had them. So because I am from Mississippi, and I can prove it. Joel, you're also from Mississippi. Baseball season going to get heated up very soon. Mississippi State playing this weekend. Mississippi State is 7-5 now. You talked about Gary Henderson. If he can turn it around, will he be a candidate? Don't tell me he's going to be a candidate, but tell me, can he keep it turned around? Because it's going in the right direction right now, but the SEC's coming.
Yeah, and look, State's, anybody's SEC schedule is brutal, but State's is particularly brutal, especially in the back half of it. So I kind of wonder, even if they kind of get on a little hot streak, how the back half of that SEC slate is going to go. But that State pitched it well last weekend. They showed what they can do. I do think offensively it's going to be a roller coaster ride all year long. I think they're going to have nights like last night, where they put up 9, get 12 hits, and things are going to click. And then there's going to be nights where the freshmen look like freshmen and a lot of strikeouts and things like that. I mean, Hunter Vedsall and Elijah McNamee haven't exactly taken those big leaps forward, at least not yet, that a lot of people thought that they would. I mean, Vedsall's had a big hit or two, so, he's shown some promise there. McNamee's not really even playing. So you kind of wonder offensively if this team has enough to kind of keep going. If you made me guess, I think this team does do well enough to get into a regional somewhere. How far they go beyond that, baseball's crapshoot. You can get in, you got a shot. So we'll see from there. I do think that they can keep at least a good season going, and I think Gary Henderson's a good guy to do it. And he wrote on the board in the Hall of Champions room there where we interviewed him. He had talked to the team a couple of weeks ago, and the board was still up the other day when we were in there. He wrote his goals for the team, and one of the goals for the team was we're going to be men and not boys. And as I read that, I couldn't help but wonder, was that kind of I think that's a Gary Henderson principle regardless, but coming from the Andy Canizero era, who was, a toboggan wearing, knew every word to every Rihanna song, kind of a teenage, young boy a little bit. And I know that was a good recruit. He brought in a lot of good recruits and things like that. But it just seemed like a complete 180, I guess, from the other regime. And at least to this point, it seems like the state has responded well to that. So I guess until you get results that speak otherwise, you can't say anything but Gary Henderson right now has been a success.
Yeah, toboggan wasn't the only thing he was wearing. And anyway, it's going to be very interesting to see if Gary Henderson can get us to go from being boys to men, or if this will be the end of the road for him. So it'll be very, very interesting. I appreciate you being on the show. This is the end of the road for this interview. And listen, I'm Brandon Walker. All right, I'm kind of an important guy. People like me. They respect me. So I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to make sure they get you guys some free food in the press box this weekend, okay? Because, damn it, you deserve it.
Good Lord. It's good to know people in high places.
It is. Joel, listen, thanks for being here, and I look forward to talking to you again, man.
Yeah, man, anytime.
All right, that's Joel Coleman. Does a great job. He does a great job with his show. What's his name of his show? Knock It Out, Joel, on Bulldog Sports Radio. You can check that out. I just when I have those guests that talk a while, and listen, he brings good information, but when they talk a while, my problem is my mind is just twisted. And when I get a joke halfway through what they're saying, I'm like, please stop talking so I can say my joke. Please stop talking so I can say my joke. And finally I got there, and yeah, I was happy. I was happy with it. Good delivery right there. All right. What we got next? Mississippi State men's basketball going to St. Louis. Can Mississippi State make a run? Sure. Will they? Probably not. Probably not. I did find it interesting on one of the Vegas sites. They got Mississippi State as the 5th best betting odds favorite to win the SEC tournament. 5th best. Now we're 7th seeded, but we're 5th best. We're better. We've got better odds in Missouri and Arkansas. We're behind Florida, Kentucky, Auburn, Tennessee. I find that very interesting. I find that very, very interesting. Don't know what they're seeing, but clearly for 3 to 4 weeks there towards the end of the season, we were one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the conference, and then we took a gigantic step back for the last 2 games in the last week. Are we the team that made the run? Are we the team that crapped the bed against Tennessee and LSU? I don't know. Coincidentally, we'll find that out because we play LSU and Tennessee in that order if we were able to win. I think we're going to beat LSU. I don't think we're the team that lost by 20 there. I think Ben Howland can figure it out and get enough for 1 win out of this thing. If we get there, can we beat Tennessee? Yes. Will we beat Tennessee? Maybe not. But we can beat any team in this conference. Here's the thing about this tournament. It's going to be exciting because outside of Ole Miss, who has quit because their coach is gone, outside of Ole Miss, 13 through 1, everybody can beat everybody. Vanderbilt could win this tournament. They're not going to. South Carolina could win this tournament. They're not going to. But South Carolina can beat Florida. Already have. Did it in Gainesville. South Carolina can beat Auburn. Already have. Mississippi State can beat anybody in this conference. So it's going to be a crazy, crazy conference, and it's just a matter of not coming out and saying, oh, we have to win every game. It's just coming out and saying, we got to be the team we were for 3 weeks in February. If we can do that, we give ourselves a chance. If we don't, we're going to embarrass ourselves again and be a 3 or 4 seed in the NIT. And I certainly hope Ben Howland and this team, I got faith in them. I know we took a shot last week. I know we took 2 shots, and I know things aren't going great right now. I think we're going to beat LSU tomorrow, and then we reevaluate and see where we are. So no 2-minute drill today because we got to get out of here. Got some issues in the building, but we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Knock on whatever surface this is. And we'll be back tomorrow with a show. Facebook Live, here I come. We'll spend about 5 minutes before we get out of here. On the podcast, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. I loved Boyz II Men growing up. That was my favorite group growing up. I loved them. I loved everything about Boyz II Men. And still, they're 2 CD, the big 2 on the front. One of my favorites. Kevin Wright was only here for the 2-minute drill. Sorry. This is not the first time I've disappointed somebody who was expecting 2 minutes. But it happens. It happens. We'll only be in the dance if we win the SEC. Yeah, that's the only shot we're going to the tournament. We can't go to the tournament without it. We absolutely can't go to the tournament without it. So, got to win. Somebody says, "What's going on with the building?" Oh, nothing. It's fine. It's fine. So what else you want to talk about? I got about, let's go to 12:20. Let's go 6 minutes. Chris Van Zant says we need to make the final. I don't think we get in if we just make the final. I don't think we do. I think we're too far back. I think we're a good 8 teams back. I don't think a run to the tournament final gets us into the tournament. That's 3 wins, which are nice, but I still just don't think it gets us in. Oh, Justin Burford. Yeah, I'm almost out of here. Justin Burford, I can't. I'll do the off-color jokes around here, buddy. KFC gizzards are legit. Brandon, you should give him one more shot. How did I know we were going back to chicken? I swear, fried chicken in this state is like there's. Well, let's see. What do people love in the state? Jesus, college football, and fried chicken. That's pretty much it. Everything else we can deal with. Hunting, maybe. But fried chicken is in the holy trinity of things people love in Mississippi. Jesus, college football, and fried chicken. I need to put that on a T-shirt. If I started a website called Jesus, college football, and fried chicken, would you guys? I think you guys would all come to it, right? Hate to brag, but our chicken livers at Popeyes are the best. What? All they want to talk about is fried chicken. We're trying to talk sports here, and all they want to talk about is fried chicken. Only one complaint about the new dude, not family friendly. 7K in attendance, but standing room only, tough with 2 kids under 4. Chris Keel, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Certainly, I think there was probably a lot. The ratio of general admission to ticketed people, seated people, was probably out of whack last night because there was more people in the Golden Triangle or close that could get there, and not as many people in Jackson or the other big population centers that could get there. So I think it was out of whack last night. Maybe that's just my theory. Maybe I'm stupid. It is lunchtime. Yes, it's very very soon. I'm going to be having a cheeseburger today. A double cheeseburger. Ryan McMichael says the lofts. Yeah, that's coming around next year, right? They're going to be building that. And I was looking out from home plate some of these beautiful pictures you guys sent me, and thank you for sending the pictures. I was looking out from home plate, and the lofts are needed in left field. It just kind of looks empty behind there in left field. It needs something as a backdrop. It definitely needs something. I got to tell you, I have made waves as being the guy that was not pro left field lounge for a while, but those guys have legitimate complaints. But last night, I think the lounge itself, as far as the look of it, it just looks open and friendly, and it looks really, really good. And I know it's different. I know people out there got used to one way for forever, and you'll get used to the new way. But it just the concourse out there, being able to see the game from 300 from all the way around the stadium, is just something brand new. Because you remember the old Duty Noble, when you were sitting in the chairbacks and you wanted to go get a snack, you had to go down the tunnel and disappear, and you couldn't see the game. And if you wanted to go out to the lounge and go behind the lounge, you couldn't see the game. Now you can see the game from everywhere. That's a big difference. That is the biggest difference in this stadium. It doesn't feel like a closed-off building anymore. It just feels like an open-air facility, a living, breathing facility that is really, really nice. No sporting venue is kid-friendly when they are under 4. Trust me, I've been to several. I will vouch for him on that. Pretty much no, outside of Chuck E. Cheese and church that has a nursery, not many places are kid-friendly when they're under 4. Because they're going to do what they want to anyway. Which statues will be outside the main entrance? Clark, Palmero? No, Hey Dad, Walker. Hey Dad, Walker. Both sitting on a couch. That's what the statue's going to be. Got 1 more minute. Get in whatever you'd like. We got to get out of here. How many people have seats, including general admission, for the new baseball stadium? Are you asking me how much it will hold? I'm guessing it's going to hold about 14 or 15. Not much different from the old one. That's what I'm guessing. I don't think they've ever even set a full number. Change means that you are growing, and that's a great thing for state, says Pamela Hilliard. Yes, I think that a good point. It's, I understand it's a change for the left field lounge people, but it's a stadium that is unrivaled in this country, and that's a good thing. Drew, and the old dude, you at least had bleachers. Now, if you're not early, you have to stand. You have to have a lounge or chairbacks, or you stand. Just trying to get the girls into baseball, says Chris Keel. I hear you. That's a valid complaint. It's a valid complaint. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to stand for 4 hours. Thought the grass areas were for kiddos in the outfield. Now, they might have been intended for that, but I think they filled up really early. Chris, you can bring chairs for the berms, I believe. I think what Chris would tell you is, if you get there 30 minutes before game time, the berms are already full, or the berm was full yesterday. It looked like to me on the pictures the berm was the first thing that filled up. Reed Sparks threw the first pitch. And Wayman Hodge is going to close us down because he asked, when does Flash Season 4 come? I have no idea when Flash Season 4 comes out, Wayman. But thank you for the question. That should do it for us today. My name is Brandon Walker. We'll be back tomorrow in this very hot studio. I think you can, ascertain what's going on. We'll be back tomorrow. My name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.